Welcome to your practice. Remember never to judge your body where it's at right now. Just practice. You'll feel progress sooner than you think. A full beginner guide with all my tips and tricks is linked down below. Now let's begin. Pigeon pose can be quite intense, so make sure that you warmed your body up, or especially your hips. Maybe go for a little jog or do some yoga. Now choose whatever side wants to go first. It's your body. Listen to it. The first intuition is always the right decision. So bring one leg back out behind you and one in front of you, your shin parallel to the front edge of the mat. If you can't get it parallel, that's not a problem. Bring it in a bit. Take it in as much as you need to be able to stay straight and not tip off to the side. Make it comfortable. Now let's focus on the back leg. Ideally, you want all 10 toes on the mat. Rotate your inner thigh up towards the ceiling, so you're seemingly on the outer edge of your thigh, knee and foot, not the inner edge. If this is not possible at first, then don't worry. Practice and all is coming. Now let's focus on your hips. The hip of the front leg should be pushing back, and the hip of the back leg should be pushing forwards, so that your hips are square. Make sure that your back leg stays put while you do this, and then let's begin to focus again on the front leg. Maybe you can try again to bring it more parallel to the front edge of your mat, but like I said, if this is not possible, that's no problem. Your front shin is like the lever of this pose, intensifying the stretch. It determines the intensity of this pose. Keep this in mind. So if you want a more relaxing stretch, bring the front leg in a bit. And if you're looking for a more intense stretch, bring it out as far as you can to meet the parallelism of the front edge of your mat. You can play around with this here. So let's refocus on everything. Try and bring the outer edge of your back leg onto the mat. Feel this by spiraling the inner thigh up towards the sky. Try aiming to get your pinky toe on the mat. You're pulling the hip of the front leg back and the hip of the back leg forward. The front leg's angle is always your choice. Take a deep breath in here, elongating through the spine, shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, surrender to this pose. Again, inhale, grow longer, walk your hands forward, and exhale, surrender into this pose. Just melt. If this is already doing you good, then stay here and just continue to breathe, focusing on the back leg, trying to reach the outer edge, spiraling your inner thighs up, hips square, and breathe. With every inhale, you grow longer, extending the spine, and with every exhale, you sink and melt. For those of you who can, walk your hands forward to come straight out in front of you, and maybe rest your forehead on the mat. For a more relaxing experience, rest your forehead on a yoga block. And just stay here, feeling the tension melt with every breath. If it's too straining for you, then do take a step back. Always listen to your inner voice. This is not a competition. If you're up for an experiment, try pressing your front leg down into the mat. Can you feel that activation in your hips? This makes it more of an active pose instead of a passive stretch. So choose your journey here. Do what feels best. Really pay attention to what the breath is doing in your hips. So when you inhale, pay attention what's going on in your hips, and also when you exhale, pay attention what feelings you're feeling in the hips. Now breathe slower and deeper. whilst focusing on these feelings. I recommend breathing through this pose for at least 1 minute, because that's when the body memory kicks in, and next time you will notice that you can go deeper into this pose. For a beginner, this stretch is quite intense, so I would definitely give yourself a day rest in between before trying it again. The yoga works even when you're not doing it. You will feel the difference the next day. So don't worry about skipping a day, you're still doing progress. What you always need to keep in mind here, every body is different, so this pose may look different for each and every one of you, and every day is different. So what you have been able to do yesterday might not be accessible today. Cut yourself some slack and just work from where you are. Work with what you've got. Listen to your body and what it needs right now in this moment. Every moment is different. Keep that in mind. And if you would like to intensify this stretch even more, walk your hands and your upper torso into the direction of the upper foot, giving you a whole new intensity to work with. And again, breathe through the tension. Whenever you're coming out of this pose, do it slowly, gently, and with control. Please give this video a like if you found it helpful in any way. Don't forget to watch it again and do your other side. This may feel different, but that's perfectly normal. If you want more free yoga poses, then subscribe to my channel. Let me know how this felt in the comments below, and I am also open for taking any requests, whatever you want to practice next. So I will see you next week. From my heart to yours, Namaste.